Hello everyone, welcome to my channel today. If you're new, my name is Emily. In today's video, I'm going to talk about hearing or listening fatigue. I created Definite Hearing as a way to increase awareness for the deaf and hard of hearing. I'm hard of hearing myself. I've worn hearing aids since I was 4 months old and I love them so much. I currently wear the ReSound Enzo 3Ds. They are the BTE model and I love them so much. They have a Bluetooth feature, and if you're going to get hearing aids, be sure to get a model with Bluetooth connectivity. That is my favorite hearing aid feature, right after being able to hear, of course. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to making more great hearing loss related content for you. I hope you stick around to the end of this video, because if you do, I'm going to share a tip that will help you overcome hearing fatigue. All right, so I have dealt with hearing fatigue, I feel like, my whole life. Let's talk about what it actually is. Hearing fatigue by the medical community is actually referred to as listener's fatigue. Professionals define listener's fatigue as a phenomenon that results after excessive sound exposure. What this phenomenon is, they don't exactly describe it. So my definition for hearing fatigue is that people with hearing loss, they don't always understand what they hear. We hear. And when we are subject to excessive sound exposure or prolonged sound exposure, particularly throughout our days from morning to evening, we become exhausted. And this is because when we hear, we also have to understand what is being said. With a hearing loss, it can be more difficult to understand what you hear compared to a person that has normal hearing. Do you deal with hearing fatigue? Do you have hearing loss? If so, I would love to hear in the comments below. I also want to hear your symptoms. My personal symptoms for hearing fatigue include a lack of understanding, overall exhaustion, earaches, tiredness. Sometimes my eyes are tired too. Headaches, and the desire to withdraw from others, or the desire to just be alone because it is exhausting to hear and have to process the sound. What about you? What are your symptoms for hearing fatigue? I want to hear in the comments below. There's a popular saying that says you cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how to react. So we can't control whether or not hearing fatigue happens, but how can we react? The bottom line is to take time for yourself. Make sure you practice self-care. A lot of people do that differently. I practice self-care by going on a run, getting my art supplies out and creating something new, or just eating a really good meal. Practicing self-care is different for everyone. So if you're dealing with hearing fatigue, take a break and practice self-care. However, I will say that though you can't control your hearing fatigue, there are things that you can do to battle against it or to ward it off. These are things that I have personally noticed. As I do these things, my chances for experiencing hearing fatigue significantly reduce. Number one is sleeping well. If I sleep well, I am more emotionally stable the next day. I try to avoid technology right before bed. I try to avoid food because that gives me heartburn. And I try to avoid drinking lots of fluids right before bed, because if I do, then I have to wake up and use the restroom, and that just ruins my sleep pattern. I would also like to add that if you don't sleep well at night, could it be your bed? Could it be your pillow? If so, invest in some good sleeping beds, pillows, bedding, whatever that may be. We spend so much of our lives sleeping, we might as well sleep in comfort. This aspect has been a roller coaster lately. Joel and I recently got a new mattress. We tried a purple. It did not work out for us. We tried a Casper, and it's okay. It was hard to switch from a purple that sleeps so cool to go to a normal mattress again, a Casper, because it feels warm. So we're still trying to figure that out, but a bed helps. When I wasn't sleeping well, I was so emotionally unstable. It was hard for me to understand what people were saying because I was dealing with hearing fatigue so much, and it was bad. So make sure you sleep well and you have the means to be able to sleep well. The next item is eat well. Eat well, have a balanced diet. Make sure that you have a good variety of fruits, vegetables, grains, low sugars, low sodium. You know, healthy diets mean something different for everyone, so talk to your doctor. But as you eat well, you'll notice you feel well. The next item is stay hydrated. This means drink lots of fluids. I prefer to drink water, but sometimes when I'm drinking so much water, it gets exhausting to drink. So I try Gatorade, Liquid IV, Powerade, all of those. They are great. And as you stay hydrated, you'll find that it's easier to stay focused so that you can understand what you're hearing. The next one is kind of obvious, but if you're dealing with hearing fatigue, avoid excessive sound exposure. Excessive sound exposure could mean a couple different things. For example, if you've had a long day at work, reconsider going to a concert. Or if you've had a long day at work, reconsider going to a noisy party. Your body is exhausted. It's telling you it needs a break. Avoiding excessive noise exposure could also mean the TV, the radio, listening to things through your Bluetooth hearing aids. If you're exhausted, turn the sound off and read. This leads me into the next item. If you're dealing with hearing fatigue, make sound visual. Turn on some captions. Turn on a transcription app and read instead of hear to understand. And last but not least, take frequent breaks. If you're at work, get up every hour for 5 to 10 minutes and walk around. If you're a student, take study breaks, walk in between classes, get up and stretch. But these breaks will help get your blood pumping again and help your body be revitalized so that it can be easier to pay attention and understand what you are hearing. Sometimes these breaks might need to be longer than others. Understand that if you're able to take a day off from work, do it. Practice that self-care I talked about in the beginning. I think it's so often we only take vacation time to go somewhere, but I feel like sometimes when you get back from a vacation, you need a vacation to recover from the vacation, but when you go straight back to work or school or whatever it may be, you're exhausted. So that can be hard to catch up on, and it can make you more susceptible to hearing fatigue. So take time. It's okay just to be at home on a day off. So there you have it. There are some tips. These are all things I have noticed as I am conscious about these and I think about these and practice them. I am less susceptible to hearing fatigue. Thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. My ultimate tip is to listen to your body. If you're feeling thirsty, get a drink of water. If you're craving a salty snack, go get that salty snack. Obviously, everyone's diets are different, so follow your doctor's advice, but you'll notice that these cravings are your body telling you what it needs to function better, especially with regards to hearing fatigue. So as you address those bodily concerns, you'll find that it'll give you the energy to get to the end of the day. It won't solve all your problems, but it helps a lot. For example, I was recently at work and I was craving a salty snack and feeling exhausted. I grabbed a bag of Lay's potato chips, ate a few, and I felt so much better. I know that this little bag of chips helped me feel more in tune, re-energized, and able to focus and understand what I was hearing, thus warding off hearing fatigue. So do not negate your need for whatever it may be, and understand that hearing fatigue is a real thing. I struggle with it. Hundreds of other people with hearing loss struggle with it. And as you start noticing it and noticing what triggers it, you can also do those things to ward it off. If you have any questions for me, please let me know in the comments below. Do you deal with hearing fatigue? If so, what do you do to combat it? I would love to hear in the comments below. So would everyone else watching this video. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to making more great hearing loss related content for you. Have a great day. Bye.